What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself, and of course, the brains and brawn of the situation, Coach Sen over there in the building, just coming in from baseball tryouts. Did you make the team?
No, because I don't know English.
Oh, yeah, that's like a big thing these days. As we both take a sip from our respective containers, um, it's been quite a week. A lot of things have gone on. A lot of things to talk about. But of course, as we always do for the beginning of the show, I ask my folks how they been. So Miguel,
Yo,
how you been?
busy. Um, yeah, busy. um, Last 2 weeks of baseball, summer baseball, commenced. Our last weekend, we finally started hitting the baseball. We didn't come out on top, but we were starting to finally hit the baseball, which is a good thing. So now it's on to fall, and yeah, a brand new, I guess, calendar year of baseball coming up pretty soon. But I'm tired. I'm tired.
Well, you're putting in work, you're putting in hard work. So you're going to be tired. It's part of the territory right there. But you ain't got time to be tired right now because we got a show to do, and
Yeah.
we got some Phillies news, some Hall of Fame news. We actually got a little bit of Flyers news too, a little bit. Ain't gonna sit on it too long. We got a little bit of Flyers news too.
We're doing hockey?
A little bit, a little bit. This isn't brothers talking pucks, but this is we gonna mention something.
That sounds like a
Um,
spin-off show.
it's actually a show that already exists. A friend of mine.
Oh,
I don't know if he still does it or not, but yeah. Some Eagles news. Coach Prime, you know about that, and I guess I'll just start it with this. I really don't know how I want to present it, but Hulk Hogan died. Um, last week, right? Yeah,
yeah. I wasn't sure how to, because I know there's been a lot of differing opinions. Of course, the last 10 years hadn't been too kind to him, or he hasn't been kind. But um, yeah. So there's a lot of differing opinions about that.
yeah. I was thinking about it. I saw it in the notes, and I said, do I want to say something? I'll say something. 80s and 90s, or up to a certain point, a brother was a Hulkamaniac. I was a Hulkamaniac, just like a lot of youngins were back then. I was eating my vitamins and saying my prayers and whatever else he would say. But like Miguel said, 10 years ago, kind of took a turn, right? So, yeah, I mean, provided some memories in my childhood growing up, and then he showed us who he was. So, whatever it is, he will deal with whatever he has to deal with, and I'll leave it at that. I get. I'm not going. That would be a little tasteless what I was about to say, but I'll leave it. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. Uh,
With all the memes out there, I don't think you can do any worse.
you're right. You're probably right, but I'll leave it alone. I'll save it for after the show. Um, let's start at the top. All right, let's start at the top because we've talked about this gentleman many times on the show, many times on the show. You have gone into his story and explained his story. Actually, on the ride home from work today, I was listening to the radio station that was going to have the Phillies game on, and the Phillies were in a rain delay. So in play, how when you're watching the rain delay, they play like this week in baseball, whatever it is. Well, on the radio station, they played shoot, I forgot what it's called, but it's called living. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. I should have. committed it to memory, but unfortunately, I did not. It's called Leaving a Legacy, the Dick Allen story. It was actually a podcast narrated by Ryan Howard. And there was some interesting things on there. Interesting things on there. So, a lot of which you have said on this show. So, um, if y'all want to check that out, y'all go ahead and do that. But wait until after we're done here. Um, but I'm talking about Dick Allen, of course. Dick Allen was finally inducted into the Hall of Fame over the weekend, past weekend. His wife, his widow, was gave a speech, great speech. His son was kind of leading the charge to get his dad into the Hall of Fame for
And
years, long
and the
time.
and the owner, John Middleton of the Phillies.
And the owner, yep, and John Middleton, yep. And now it has finally happened. So I think the Phillies now have like 7 Hall of Famers in all now. I think, which is interesting because I believe they either have 7 or 8. I think I have 7. There are 8 Hall of Famers from the Cincinnati Reds from that team, and you know the team I'm talking about. There are 8 Hall of Famers from that team.
The Big Red Machine.
That's crazy. But with all that being said, congratulations to Dick Allen and Miguel. I know you've talked about him. You followed. You studied his career in a sense. I should say. Do you have any words that you wanted to say and congratulations and congratulatory? I'm gonna mess that up. But do you have anything you want to say about that?
No, it's I think it's a bittersweet because unfortunately he wasn't actually there. He passed away I believe in 22 or 23. Um, it was in the beginning of I think her name's was it Wilhelmina Allen? His
Yeah.
she also because Dick Allen and Dave Parker were actually close. Because they kind of were. Dick
He,
Allen was
he
on
passed.
the
He
way out.
passed in 2020.
2020, got it.
Mhm.
Um, and it was nice that the Phillies at least retired his number, prior to him passing, which again was kind of bittersweet. But it's mixed emotions, because the people that were that bypassed him to make it into the Hall of Fame. And my argument with that, it's like really that guy's going to the Hall of Fame above, the Gallen.
Mhm.
Um, but it was nice to see that there's no ill will, there's no animosity, and just a nice back and forth between the Allen family and the Parker family. And I don't know if you saw the induction of Dave Parker, but if you saw his son, looked exactly like Daddy,
Mm.
like the same height. He had these hazel eyes, but he looked just like his dad looked like when he was young. So it was just interesting to see.
Wow.
It was like, turning back the clock. And then but yeah, I'm glad he's in finally. I just have, mixed emotions about it being done posthumously, and because I guess because when it came to a lot of players that deserved it, especially, from the Negro Leagues, a lot of it was posthumous. It couldn't have been done at that time because of all the racism that was going on,
Mhm.
to keep blacks out of baseball. And but at the end, I think, all is well.
Yeah, when I heard his story again today, I was just like, wow, he I can't believe he came back.
Right.
When I hear
And,
about I
well,
can't believe he came back.
it's twofold. Not only that he came back, but they asked him to come back.
Right.
And there was, I think, Mike Schmidt in that told a story about how there was this quote unquote secret meeting to actually coax him back. Because what people don't, when you look at the timeline, it looks like, well, he played for the White Sox and then he came to the Phillies, but he retired as a White Sox, but he didn't fill out the paperwork properly. So he actually was traded. His contract was traded to the Atlanta Braves.
Mm-hmm.
He refused to play for the Braves
Mm-hmm.
because he was like, and what people like, I'm going down the history, thing. Henry Aaron broke the record in '74 for the home run to win the home run title from Babe Ruth, and then he left. He went back to Milwaukee for 2 seasons. So his thing was, if Hank Aaron, who's the home run king, doesn't want to stay in Atlanta, what the hell am I going to go down to Atlanta for?
Good point.
So he did that, but I think it was Paul Owens, it was Mike Schmidt, and like one or two other players that actually went down to go see him and coax him out of retirement. And Mike Schmidt always tells the story that it was Dick Allen that kind of resurrected or saved his career and taught him how to actually have fun and love the game. And I'd be a good human being and not be a jerk.
Well, congratulations to the Allen family. Finally inducted into the Hall of Fame. While you were talking about it, I have to ask you a question, Miguel.
Do I need my lawyer present?
I'm not sure. Have we been doing this show for 4 years?
Oh my God.
Or 5 years? I think we've been doing this show for 5 years.
We started the show during COVID, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was.
Here's why. I feel like we mentioned his death on this show.
We did.
So we've been doing this show almost 5 years.
Because I remember one of the first episodes I was talking about how I was upset about the fact that, Harold Baines was in the Hall of Fame and he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that was the first year we started talking about it. Then the second, in the end of the first year, is when he passed. Because I think it was like November, December of 20.
I thought time is really flying because I thought we'd been doing the show for like 3 years. We've been doing the show almost 5 years. Thank you to everybody that's been supporting us. Let's keep it with the Phillies right now, and the Phillies made a trade. They went and they got some strength in the bullpen. Definitely needed because watching the Phillies bullpen has been a roller coaster.
Atrocious.
It's literally been a roller coaster. So they trade a top 100 catching prospect, which I'm not too fond of them doing that.
I know.
I'm not too fond of them doing that. And they traded pitcher Mick Abel, which I'm okay with.
So am I.
I'm okay with. They traded the top one, and you know why, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain why. A top 100 catching prospect. That means the catcher's pretty good. Let's just put it that way. The catcher's pretty good. The Phillies are going to be in need of a catcher. The Phillies are in need of a catcher now, if you ask me. One with some pop. Let's put it that way. JT can still do his thing behind the plate, but we need some pop coming from that. From that spot, especially being right-handed right now. I think JT has like 4 home runs this year or something.
He hit 3 home runs. He hit 3 home runs the last month.
Last month he hit 3 home runs?
Yeah, I think he hit 2 in New York last week in Yankee Stadium.
So he might have like 5 now or something. He doesn't have many. He doesn't have many. And we're used to seeing some pop from him. But they traded for a Minnesota pitcher. Help me out with this name. I'm gonna try because I heard his name on the radio earlier today, but I forgot. Is it Jhoan Duran?
Johan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. It is Johan. I remember because I remember thinking Johan Santana when they said it.
Who played for the same team, by the way.
Exactly. That's why I made that connection. But Johan Santana. I mean, there I go. Jhoan Duran. Miguel, can you tell me something about him?
Man, he's a big arm, 16 saves already, throws 100, 102. His ERA right now is 2.01. In 4 seasons, he's had 75, 74 saves. In 233 innings, he struck out 293 batters. He's one of, if not the top three closers in the game. And I know the Phillies were looking at Clase from Emmanuel Clase from Cleveland,
Yeah,
but
let's get into that
unfortunately,
too.
what'd you say?
I said, yeah, let's get into that too. We might as well go ahead down the line.
I mean, well, because so all right. Before we go to him, the other option they were possibly looking at, and I was actually excited about, was possibly getting Felix Bautista from the Orioles along with Cedric Mullins. But about 3 weeks ago, I think they were in Toronto, and he was warming up in the bullpen, and he said his arm didn't feel right. He lost like 5 miles per hour off of his velocity, and then they said there was swelling in his shoulder. So he is coming off of Tommy John from 2 years ago.
Uh-oh.
So of course that put him off the table, and I was excited because he was like 6'10", throws like 104 and all that. But then you have Cedric Mullins, who's great in center field, and you've seen some of the catches he made just this last week. But that was off the table. And then again, we go back to Clase because I think they were looking at Emmanuel Clase and Stephen Kwan, their left fielder, which again, that would have been just as fine. Although people were kind of skeptical because Clase kind of fizzled in the playoffs. He wasn't very good the last two playoffs. So it was like, that was kind of like the knock on him. So, but I'm happy with the Duran trade. To trade a top 100 catcher that's doing well at every level, and he's still only 19. What people forget is that JT Realmuto we got via a trade in the division, mind you.
Yep.
So I think I think there'll be a catcher out there that we could possibly maybe trade for in the future. And I'm not worried about like Realmuto to hit all these home runs. That's not really what you got him for. I think that was just an added plus. He's there to stabilize your rotation and to keep the bullpen in check with, of course, the good pitchers.
He's here because Bryce Harper wanted him here.
Right, because he knew what he can do with a pitching staff. Right. I mean,
He
and
he
yeah, at the
also
time.
knew what he could do with the bat.
Right, but even that, like with the bat, he still was only like 15, 20 home runs. And yeah, I understand like 10 less home runs, but he's still a very smart hitter. Will take the ball the opposite way. So he'll still do the little things. He may not have as much power, but I think as long as he's fine defensively, that's what you need him there for. So I'm
Yeah,
okay.
you definitely. Go ahead.
No. I'm okay with him not being this hitter that he was.
I'm not okay with it, but I'm not saying like I dislike him. I don't want him on the. I'm not okay with it because we don't have any pop from the right hand side of the box of the plate right now. Schwarber's tearing it up. Lefty. Bryce is getting hot again. Lefty. Alec Bohm is hurt. He hasn't really had much pop this year. JT doesn't have much pop this year. Rojas. He
Never
already
had
knows.
pop. He never
Exactly.
had pop.
Exactly. So our right hand bats are really nothing to fear. Our probably our best right hand bat is Sosa. Probably our best right hand bat.
Well, the other thing is too,
Oh,
and I'm
I
glad.
forgot about Castellanos. Let me
Yeah,
check it out.
he's okay. I think unless he's used as a trading chip tomorrow, because the deadline ends. The deadline ends tomorrow, right? The 31st.
Tomorrow at 6
4
p.m.
p.m. or 6 p.m. So as long as they still have him tomorrow, because they've been talking about possibly calling up Justin Crawford because he's tearing it up in AAA, and that could be another added bet if it translates, unless they wind up trading him and using him as a bargaining chip. I was actually hoping that they would get Buxton from the Twins as well, but I guess they would have had to probably give up Painter too.
Well, Buxton during the All-Star break put it out there that he's not going anywhere.
They always say that, but
They always do. But he also has that no trade clause. So,
well, screw him then. Then we look at Suarez because we do need a third baseman, and thankfully he did not um, break his hand the other night after getting hit in the hand by a pitch. So, and
yeah.
I think he's actually playing tonight, so he's just fine. So,
Um, I was thinking about the Phillies today, right? And I was just thinking like they're still competing at that first place level in the division. They're they've been down the starting pitcher almost the entire season. Baseball is such a long season.
addition by subtraction.
They've been down the starting pitcher almost the whole season. They've had to feels like they've been going back and forth on like well, of course Mick Abel got traded, but it was like Mick Abel or Taiwan Walker or the bullpen. What are we going who are we throwing today? Um Harper was hurt for a portion of the season. Um Alec Bowman's been hurt a couple times this season. JT, I think, was hurt a little bit. Was JT hurt this season? I don't remember.
He had I think, a hand or a wrist or something.
Something like that. But they're still competing at a very high level. This trade that comes in today, I feel like it does them. I like the trade. I like the trade. Um, no, I'm not excited about the fact that they gave up that prospect, but let's be honest, it's baseball. You can find a prospect tomorrow, or you may not find another prospect like that for another 4 or 5 years. We just have to see. But they can always make a trade. Um, let's talk about. Let's stick to the baseball theme real quick, and one more thing that I wanted to talk about with baseball is in 1 second the I didn't even say to put that in yet, but okay. The Hall of Fame class, the potential 2026 Hall of Fame ballot. Okay, the returning players, these guys received more than 20% of the vote on this year's ballot. You got Carlos Beltran, Felix Hernandez, Andrew Jones, who, funny enough, I thought Andrew Jones was already in. I don't know why. Andy Pettit, Manny Ramirez, Alex Rodriguez, Chase Utley. Um, so I had this thing is in my way. Um, but of course, everybody else on the ballot: Ryan Braun, Shinsho Chu, Chris Davis, Edwin Encarnacion, Gio Gonzalez. I don't need to read them all. You see it there. Um, do any of them get in, Miguel? Hello? Did you just say something? Did I mute you? Hold on.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, I think you muted me.
Uh oh. Uh oh. It's the other mic though. Okay.
Damn it! I'm gonna cuss on live TV.
Well, while you're doing that, you can just shake your head yes or no while you're taking care of that. Any of these guys getting in?
Hello.
There you go.
Okay.
Any of these guys getting in, Miguel?
If
Yo, Hunter Pence
anybody,
is on this ballot.
what'd you say?
Hunter Pence is on this ballot. I was just
Yeah,
thinking
but
about Hunter Pence the other day. Like,
that's just. I had an argument, and I'm gonna call my brother out because I told him to stick to football because he tried to argue with me that Lenny Dykstra belongs in the Hall of Fame.
oh really?
So yeah, but he doesn't know baseball. He should just stick to football and wrestling. But the interesting thing is that you have two people on here that were, of course, in the steroids scandal, Mr. Ramirez and Mr. Rodriguez. And I know Rodriguez has not been the fan favorite, I'll say, not even in New York. So um, I think it's going to be tough for him to get in. I would say,
For A-Rod to get in?
yeah, I think it's going to be tough for A-Rod to get in, just because if you look back on the when that interview where he admitted to using steroids, and ever since then trying to like kind of, I guess, win fan appeal and support and stuff like that, and then he was with JLo for a little bit and made him look like more of a douchebag for a couple years. So yeah, I don't think he gets in, at least not the first ballot. Um,
I don't think I don't think there are people. I think there are people that didn't like the fact that he kind of outshined Derek Jeter a little bit, not playing wise, but
I don't right. I think he it was the effort of trying to outshine. Like it was kind of like obvious to people, like he was trying to be that guy.
I was watching this interview with Gary Sheffield, one of my favorite players,
Mhm.
and he said when he got to New York, he was on that team with Jeter and A-Rod. He said when he could feel the tension, like you got there, you could just feel the tension. It was there.
Mhm.
It was like prevalent. It was obvious,
Right.
and I feel like he might have been part of the solution. Let's just put it like that. But that's another interview on another show. We won't get into that too much.
But I think Pettit gets in.
Pettit almost got in last time, right?
Yeah, he almost got in last time. I think Pettit will get in. Jones, I think, has a shot. Was he on that? Was he on the one Atlanta Braves team that won the World Series, or no?
Yes, I believe he was on that team.
Okay, that's right. Because Otis Nixon, I think, left at that point and didn't win.
Yeah, he was.
Uh,
You talking about the team that beat the Cleveland
the
Indians?
yeah, in '95,
Yeah, he
I
was.
think.
I believe he was on that. I think he was a rookie on that team.
Right.
I think.
Because I always remember him being on the '96. Was it the '96 team? Yeah, it was the
That's the
'96
one that
team.
lost.
Yeah,
Was that
they
the one
they
that
were
lost
they
to
were
the
up
Yankees?
to they were up 2 games to nothing, and I think the first game they won like 14-1, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Braves are going to win back to back," and then the Yankees came back.
That actually, that series is what caused me to actually like dislike the Yankees
Oh, really?
because I like the Braves
Right.
and the Yankees, and the fact that Charlie Hayes caught the last out and it was like a foul ball was last out, and Charlie Hayes used to be a Philly. It just the whole thing just bothered me.
I
The
got you.
whole thing just bothered me. Like I felt like Charlie Hayes was supposed to do me a favor and drop that ball.
Really?
You're young. You don't know. You don't
Young
know.
and dumb. I get it.
We're gonna make this real quick. Quick mention of this. Let me. This. Oh, I didn't give my opinion on the Hall of Famers.
Oh, that was Pettit, Jones, and I think Beltran gets in. That's it.
Pettit, Jones, and Beltran. I think Pettit gets in. I think Jones gets in. I think it's my bias that I can't really say. He's a Met, so I'm like I don't know if I'm rooting against him or am I just
So
like
yeah,
really
they
feeling
got the
like
wrong
he has to get
they
in.
they got the wrong picture up. So he he played for the Mets for 6 years and he played for the Royals for 6 years, but I guess they went with the Mets because they went to more playoff games or whatever. But plus he's Puerto Rican, so he has to get it.
Um, Manny, I don't see. I love Manny as a player. Like I used to
I
love
know.
the whole Manny being Manny thing. I don't
Yeah.
I don't because the steroid thing. I don't see Manny getting in.
Well, do
Man,
you think?
the
Do,
steroid thing and the antics. You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I feel like those two things compounded do not allow him to get here. First of all, I don't think Manny is going to be the first steroider to get in.
Well,
Like
David Ortiz was.
Right. You're right. I don't think he'll be the next. I don't think he'll be the next one to get in.
Who do you think will be next?
A-Rod.
So you think A-Rod will get it over Bonds?
Yeah, I really feel like Bonds may not get in until after he's gone. Like I feel like because of the people that and I don't know, exactly who it is, but I know who they are. The people that are responsible for getting these players in, I do not believe that they are going to allow Bonds to see himself in the Hall of Fame. Kind of like Pete Rose. But Pete Rose thing was a little different. I don't think they'll allow. I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll let him grant him that satisfaction of seeing himself in the Hall of Fame. He belongs there.
Mm-hmm.
He belongs there. I'd vote for him every single time. But I don't think the writers are going to. I don't think they'll go for it unless like 20 years down the line, you have a whole new batch of writers that really don't know anything about how Barry was to the media, and the whole steroid thing probably gets a little
Muddled.
muddled and washed out. But yeah, I think A-Rod is the next steroider to get in. Because I mean, I'm just thinking about it. Like David Ortiz got in, he deserved it, right? But he got in off personality. Like
Yeah,
that's what allowed him to get in.
he was lovable.
He was a lovable guy. He put the city on his back. When they had that tragedy, the bombing at the marathon. So he got in. His skills got him on the ballot. His personality got him in the hall. You think that's fair to say?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's the thing that definitely is holding Barry Bonds back. Yeah. If you ever see the biopic of or the biography of him, he's always had a chip on his shoulder because he witnessed his father played for the same team, the Giants, for 15, 20 years, and his godfather was Willie Mays. So he heard the stories and experienced some of the racism that both the father and the godfather, experienced. So he came into the league with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And we know how the press doesn't like people with attitude, and and that's actually the same thing that happened to
Dick Allen, right?
right, exactly what happened with Dick Allen. And then Dick Allen had it really bad because there wasn't any way to prove the stories wrong or prove that there was any lies because everybody trusted the newspapers at the time. That was the word. That was the Bible. But even with
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now I was about to switch up a little bit. But I just noticed that Cole Ham was on there. On the
Oh yeah, he's not getting in.
He's not getting in, especially on this one. However, here's what I will say: if he had some run support for half his career, he probably
he probably will tell you that too.
He probably would be in if he got some run support half his career. I'll tell you. So we'll have to keep y'all posted. We will on how that works out. Real quick, we'll make quick mention of this. Carter Hart and all the defendants in the case were found not guilty. I'm speaking of the I think it was four hockey players that were accused of a sexual assault. Stemming back, I want to say it was before 2020, I believe.
It was in 2018 Canadian World Junior Cup.
There it is. Thank you. 2018 in Canada. All of them were found not guilty. I didn't follow the case, so I don't have too much opinion on it. All I would say is I guess they're fortunate. I don't know if they're guilty or in this, but according to the courts, they're not guilty. So they're fortunate that they were not found guilty and they have to spend time in prison. That's what I'll say about that. You got anything you want to say about it?
I mean, it's
I'm wondering what the Flyers are going to do now, though.
well, so it's a bit of a conundrum because the story didn't start surfacing until what I want to say,
2 years ago.
yeah, about 2023, late 22, early 23. And of course, Carter Hart, we finally had a goaltender after like 50 years of not having one. And he was due to become an unrestricted free agent in 24. And then this assault comes out. So the reason why, so I read another story where it said that he's not guilty, but it doesn't mean that he did not do anything wrong. Because the issue was basically that these three guys were trying to share a woman,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman was allegedly inebriated or under the influence, and but the reason why they weren't found guilty was because her story just wasn't sticking. You know what I mean? There were loopholes in her story between the time and the date and stuff like that. But Carter Hart was actually the only one that actually testified out of the other players, I believe.
Really?
Um, so he had the unfortunate task of telling the story of what happened, like graphically.
Mm.
She was positioned this way, and I had my thing here, and he had his thing there, and da da. You know what I mean? So it's pretty graphic. So people are like, "Yeah, he wasn't
I don't
found
mean to,
guilty."
I don't mean to chuckle, but I'm just imagining like you're on the stand and you have to not only describe yourself, but now
Right,
you have to describe another man and what he got going on over there
right,
on on the stand
correct,
with everybody looking at you or hanging on to your every word. And then
correct.
and then you got to explain what that guy got going on and then what that guy got going on.
Too many things going on, bro. Too many things going on.
Too many things going on.
So the Flyers were actually asked the question. So now that Carter Hart is not guilty, does that allow you the opportunity to come to reach out to Carter Hart and re-sign him and da 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 da? He did not say no. He just said we'll look at it.
Who is that? Danny Briere?
Dan Briere, yeah,
Mm,
who's the GM of the Flyers.
right. Yeah, we'll
So
have to keep an eye on that. Might make the
yeah,
Flyers
it
interesting again.
it was interesting because I actually read a transcript, like the transcript of his testimony, and once I got to that part, I was like, damn, bro.
Mm. All right. Quick mention: Deion Sanders had his bladder removed because there was a tumor. There was a cancerous tumor in his bladder. He had his bladder removed and now is cancer free. They say he is
Good for him.
cured from the cancer. I know at times when you have cancer in certain organs, you can or certain organs or tissues, you can have that removed, and that would be considered the cure. Um, as we know, there's no real cure for cancer right now, at least not that is put out there commercially, right?
Right.
But apparently, he didn't tell. I don't know who he told. I don't know if he told anybody about it, but he didn't tell his sons about it, knowing that they
Right.
were getting ready to. They were preparing to go into the NFL. That is, I feel like that's noble of him. That's a father. I feel like that's what fathers do. I feel like they put their kids' needs and interests and stuff like that ahead of their own, and so they could focus on what they needed to do. And then also the story does not become about Dion. It stays about Shador, Shiloh, not as much, but you know what I'm saying. Um, but you said you put in here that he made a will back in May because he didn't think he was going to be here.
He didn't think he was going to be, which I mean is wise to do. But I think I've even I've even had that conversation with some of my players. Not that they have to really necessarily worry about it, but it's like, it's never too early to think about that kind of stuff. But because you and I, of course, are on the older side of 40.
Hey, you can
Um,
speak for yourself, buddy.
oh yeah, well, screw you. But I'm on the older side of 40,
But
so
you're only a year older than me,
am I?
right? Yeah, I think you're only a year older than me, right?
What year were you born?
81.
2 years. Okay,
Oh, okay.
so
Well, then, yeah.
jerk.
Well, then proceed.
Proceed. But yeah, so yeah, it's never too it's always a difficult conversation, but it's important. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I only say that because like my when my mother-in-law passed, um, there was literally nothing to worry about. No, nothing financial, nothing, no surprises. Everything was just,
Yeah,
smooth.
everything was
Even with my mother, even when my mother passed, it was like everything was, paid for, no debt, no, nothing major. So
gotcha. God, yeah, very important. You're absolutely right, Miguel. Very important. I'm sitting trying to move my chair. I don't know what it was stuck on, but so I found this interesting. I'm a Madden player. I've been a Madden player since the first Madden. Um,
you like the last two Maddens?
so I like the last one.
Okay.
I mean, let's put it this way. I liked all of them except for the one where they had the quarterback vision thing. I hated that.
Yeah, that never stuck with me.
Yeah, that was terrible. I hated it. I
Because it's
understood what they were trying to do, but it was
But that wasn't that around the time they were trying to mix in like VR and stuff like that. Like that's what that should be for. It shouldn't be for like
no, it should
regular,
exactly,
you know.
exactly. But to answer your question, last year's Madden, I liked more than the previous year's Madden, so last year's Madden, I think I bought around Christmas time because it's a little cheaper then.
Yeah,
Um,
I do the
and
same.
then
You don't buy full price.
the previous two, I waited till they were free, and then I downloaded. So I think the year before last, I must have liked that one a little more to actually wait till Christmas to buy the one that I bought last year.
Mhm.
And I'll probably get this one on time just because Saquon's on the cover. But mentioning Saquon, Saquon has joined the 99 Club on Madden. And for people that do not know what the 99 Madden Club is, when you play Madden football on the on the video game, whatever you might play it on, um, every player on the game has an overall score. I don't know what the lowest can be. It might be 50. I don't know, but the highest you can get is 99. And 99 is like it's like a badge of honor around the league. And Saquon Barkley and Lane Johnson both are in the 99 club. I don't know when the last time the Eagles had a 99 player. I
Terrell
don't know if
Owens,
they ever,
maybe.
maybe Terrell Owens. Um, but yeah, congratulations. I mean, I don't know if they, I don't think they get anything for it except for bragging rights. But I've
Well,
been using the Eagles on Madden forever, so
yeah.
I'm glad to see it. But this was interesting, and I'm gonna let you talk about it because I'm here, but I kind of want to hear about it. I know you're plugged in, but I kind of want to hear about it, how you feel about it, being that you're in Baltimore now. Like you're not
Mhm.
here to hear the things that they're saying here. So You're not here to hear the things that they are saying here.
Come on, English
Um,
major.
by default. Um, what are your feelings on the stadium and the survey and all that? Give me your feelings on all that. I didn't introduce it, so I'll let you introduce it.
So there was a story that had come out that the owner of the Eagles, Jeffrey Lurie, and I believe they do this every year. They send out like a survey to their season
See,
ticket holders
yeah, okay, because I never
about
heard this.
potential stadium improvements, which included the possibility of them adding a roof or making Philly into a dome for the potential of obviously hosting Super Bowls, or the possibility of even having a brand new facility altogether.
Mhm.
And not that this was a not. I don't believe that they brought up specific locales, but of course the conversation would come up. Well, where would you build a new venue? Just like with the Sixers, and they wound up choosing the Navy Yard or whatever. But one possible site, which I think all the way around would work, would be the old. I know they call it Philadelphia Mills, but
That's
only
a cool.
communists call it that. But it's the old Franklin Mills mall site
I feel
because
like that site. It's big enough, right?
right.
Obviously big enough, but I just feel like traffic wise, it would be an issue.
Well, because you have Route One, right? Then you have what 63, which is what Woodhaven Road,
Hmm.
and then every all signs point to like 295. You also have, if you keep going up north on Route One, then you have the PA Turnpike or what 276 or whatever. Um, and you have the potential for a transportation hub because that's going to be a good way to advertise. Hey, take the train to the stadiums. You know what I mean? So,
So one thing you may not know, being that you're not here on the daily, except having issues, man.
man, they've been having issues since I was 4.
Since
I,
forever.
I so I've been following that too because I have a there's two friends of mine that actually still work for SEPTA. They've been there for like 28 years, so they
Mhm.
let me know like what the real deal is and all the financial stuff. And I think they're supposed to be getting like new replacement L trains and new replacement trolleys, and they're supposed to be expanding.
They're shutting down some of their routes,
the-
some of their
Yeah,
regionals and all like that.
and I think
So
some are not. They're not operating past like 8 p.m. or something like that, or
something
something
like that.
outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah, they're changing up some stuff, and it's interesting to me because I mean, and now we're getting off the topic, but Mayor Sherrell Parker, Mayor of Philadelphia, wants people to come back into the city and take SEPTA. Right, she's kind of pushing for people to take SEPTA into the city, and then SEPTA turns around and is like, "Yeah, we're going to have to shut some of these things down." Probably because people aren't taking it, and she's pushing people to do that.
Mhm.
But if they start wanting to take it, it's not going to be in some places for them to take. So it's a kind of a catch-22. We'll have to see.
But if the Eagles do decide to like do something like that, they usually because even when they were talking to the Sixers about moving to Chinatown or whatever site it was, the Sixers were in negotiations to like either help expand SEPTA transit down there or whatever. The Eagles could potentially do the same thing, pay for like extra shuttle service or whatever the case
They
may
want to
be.
do something. They're going
So
to do
yeah,
something.
but I
Uh,
mean, then there's the other argument, like the stadium. The link hasn't been around long enough to warrant. You know,
well, it's been around about 20 years, right?
so 20 years is usually like the magic number, but there's a lot
Yeah.
of so like you have like the
It
Brave
doesn't
Stadium.
feel like it though, but
It
yeah.
doesn't feel like Atlanta Braves got that new stadium, and everybody in Atlanta was like, we just got used to you know the
Hmm.
current stadium, and then so but I think most venues are usually designed to last decades. Like even Camden Yards, they renewed the lease for another 30 years. So Camden Yards isn't going nowhere, but they redid the contract. So now the owners of the Orioles can now do, I guess, more. they have more leeway to do what they want with the property in and around Camden Yards, whereas before they had to go through like the city and the state, and they had to go through like an approval process. But now, you know, pretty much the Orioles and their management can kind of do whatever, and they're starting to, especially with the FanDuel stuff, and yeah, it's getting crazy.
Um, what do you think? What do you feel about the possibility of a dome? What are your feelings on that?
It's not Philly, man. But it's like Northeast cities like, New York, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, like, football, it needs to be in the cold. You know what I mean? You gotta,
Mhm.
and they tried the Super Bowl in New York, and it didn't work out as good. You know what I mean? It's like keep it as is. You don't need to change it.
Yeah. So I've heard good arguments on both sides, right? I'm for one. I'm like, no, we need to have Northeast weather football, right?
Right.
Um,
Because then you don't have the snow game with the Rams.
right, and right, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and what's better than seeing your home team playing in the snow? What's better than that?
Yeah.
Um, but the other argument is, well, was one. I shouldn't say the other argument. One of the things that I heard that makes sense. I mean, probably not doesn't matter to me as much now, but concerts in a dome, concerts in indoor venues are amazing.
Yeah,
um,
that's true.
because of the sound and stuff like that. So that's the other side of it. Like when you take the football side out of it, there's
Mhm.
the value of it. Um, but here's what I want, and I know it wouldn't happen. I would love for them to have a dome with a retractable roof that they would only close football games. They will only close for the Super Bowl.
Or concerts.
Well, I'm talking about football wise.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Only close for the Super Bowl.
Mm.
That's where I would be. Um, I don't know why, but all these comments just popped up from your brother. I didn't see him, so I don't know. Last one was over 10, 15 minutes ago, so
Oh.
I'm not going to put him in there because it would make sense. But
Well, you can put the last one up.
oh, this one,
Yeah.
but it still don't make sense because I don't know.
Oh no, that's the first one. So the first one is at the
Oh,
bottom. The most recent one
this
is at the top. Yeah, there it is.
no one is moving anywhere. I'm with them. I don't think. I mean, they do it every year, or every year that they talk. The Phillies have done it. I mean, not the Sixers did it. The Flyers ain't going nowhere. But what the Phillies did do, because they were talking about North Philly for their new
They
stadium.
were talking about the old Inquirer building on Broad and Spring
Yeah.
Garden that was going to be. Yeah.
Um, and the Eagles just did it. So no, I don't think anybody's going anywhere. I'll be surprised when it does happen, because it's probably going to happen at some point, right?
But
I'll
just like
be
with the Sixers, it was surprising that the Sixers. Number one, it was surprising that the Sixers were breaking away from the Flyers and trying to build their own thing. That was surprise number one. Then the surprise number two was, hey, we're going to put it in Chinatown. And then surprise number three was, hey, yeah, we are going to do it in Chinatown, and we're going to build it in South Philly. That's literally how they did it. It's like, oh, okay.
they they already had a backdoor deal,
Yeah,
apparently.
they already. Yeah, you can tell.
Um, you had a would you rather before we get to the videos. Uh oh,
Yeah.
did I catch you off guard? I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no. I had it queued up. It was just on my iPad.
He said no. The old Botany 500 building on Lehigh.
What the hell's he talking about?
I don't know, something about Bootney Farnsworth, but do you have it? Or should I go to the video while you find it?
No, I'm actually looking at. I'm just trying to decide which ones to give you. Okay, first one is kind of easy. I'll do three.
All right.
If you had a choice, would you rather be a coach or a referee?
Coach.
Really?
Yeah. Referees catch hell, man. I'd rather be a coach. I'd rather be a
Yeah,
coach.
I always every once in a while when we're doing the coaches meeting at home plate, I always ask the umpires like, so how's it looking this year? Like you guys got a lot of people, and I'm getting like, nah, man, this is nobody, and it's not so much that there's not many umpires. They don't want to umpire at the high school level or below.
Mm.
They don't want to do any travel ball stuff.
Because people crazy.
Yeah.
People crazy, and
And
half the time they don't know what they're talking about.
they really don't. And that's why, like, I've always said to my parents, like, we don't argue with umpires. 90% of them suck anyway. So just keep it moving. And some of them are like, I know some of them would prefer me to argue a lot of plays. Plus, when it comes to travel ball, unfortunately, we're on the clock. We got an hour for 50 minutes. We got an hour 45. I'll ask maybe for an appeal here and there because I know that's real quick, but the arguing, it's like, let's overcome and push forward.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. I'll do one more. If you only had two options, no, that's. I think you would. If you only had two options, what? What are you laughing at?
Because you, it's like you trying to pick them out right now. Like I don't want to give them that one. Let me do this.
Well, it's a lot of it's a lot to. I want to try to
If I only had to, well, you're only supposed to be giving me two options, right?
right.
Okay, so
So all right, I'll do one that's real simple. Would you rather throw a touchdown or would you rather catch a touchdown?
catch, catch. Because when you catch the touchdown, you get to celebrate. The person that throws it, like they can celebrate, but it's kind of weird. Like you didn't score, you threw, you scored.
I mean, you see Brady and them and Jalen Hurts celebrate all the time.
I get it. I mean, you do, but the initial celebration is on the person that caught it. Then the camera's on them first. They get first dibs at the celebration. The
I'm
quarterback
with you.
has to run to the end zone or wherever. They have to go to the celebration.
Hmm.
The person that caught the ball, they are the celebration. Give me the catch right now.
Gotcha. I got you.
Or
I think I'm on the other end. I would throw. I would love to throw.
plus the feeling of mossing somebody. You say you moss them,
Speaking
what was my man's name? My man from he played for the Giants, went to LSU. The can't think of his
called,
name. Wide receiver that caught the ball falling out of bounds against Dallas or whatever he
yeah,
did.
yeah. Speaking of Mossing, that leads us to our first video. I wanted to start off with some like awesome plays from the past like month, but these three plays were just freaking well, one, two, three. These four plays are freaking awesome.
Well, let's see what we got.
To enter on losing streaks here. Pensacola and Rocket City both have, as this is lifted out to right field. Coming over toward the line to make the catch, Ledbetter. He slings the throw to the plate, and Spain dodged the tag from Levens. Are you kidding me? Throw to second, won't get the runner there. No way.
That was sweet. That was sweet. That was sweet. That was a sweet move. Yeah, he hit him with the old 1-2.
Yeah.
Hit him with the old 1-2. That was sweet. Hit him with the nope. I'm over here. Score.
Mhm. I remember there was one. I think I might have posted it here. It was at a girls' softball, and they're like, it was the same play, and then she pointed to the other way, and the catcher went like that, and she went it and slid. Yeah, that was. I think I made that a big dummy. And then this next play is from this past Sunday.
Innings of 3 runs or fewer. Fly ball, left center. On the run, Rojas makes the catch. Tagging is Bellinger. The throw is in time. What a tag by Real Muto. Yeah, I think because Cody tags the bag with his left hand, if he tags the base with his feet, he is safe. But because he doesn't, he keeps his legs back. It looks like it's a really good tag by Real Muto. Can't really tell if he tags him in the helmet, but it sure looks like it. If his feet touch the base first, he's going to be safe. Wow, he's out.
Right on the neck.
That's close though. As soon as I was kind of late on it, I guess. It just didn't look like, from what I saw. I mean, obviously they looked at it and all that, but just like from what I saw, I looked down. His whole hand was on the plate. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know that it was definitely like suspect.
It was close.
So the next two are from the same player on back-to-back days. This is from Friday night.
That ball's driven to left center. Mullins on the run. It's there. Super Sed with a robbery.
And I have to say it now, I do not like the all tangerine jerseys.
I do.
You do?
That ball's driven to left center. Mullins on the run. It's there.
Laid out. Give him the layout chain.
And then this one is from Sunday, which you just.
Another breaking ball. This one hit a long way by Sanchez to center. Mullins! Ooh. No, he didn't. No, you cannot be serious. No! No way! No way!
Oh, I want to see that again.
Another breaking ball. This one hit a long way by Sanchez to center. Mullins! No, he didn't. No, you cannot be serious. No! No way!
Man, he got up there, boy.
That's why I wanted Cedric Mullins.
He got up there.
That is exactly why I wanted Cedric Mullins. All right, now we go to the damn it.
Okay.
This is number one. Be careful how you work out with people.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Hold on. Ooh.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Big knot on her.
Oh my goodness. She got hit in the head with a kettlebell. Oh my God.
I felt like that's the appropriate sound for that moment.
Funny thing is, like, I'm wondering if that was her camera. Like, was that her camera, or was that the person that was working out camera? She was just trying to do something funny.
I think because she went like this and was like, yeah. So yeah, I think she was trying to be cute, and it backfired.
In somebody else's video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what you get. All right. Let me go on to the next one. Here we go.
Can you show me the squishy dance? Oh my!
Oh. Boy, it just disappeared.
I figure since that's your favorite thing of,
Listen, you guys are assassinating my character out here. Y'all keep talking about
dude. Wasn't it a couple weeks ago when you literally like fell out of your chair over something
Not
like that?
fall out of my chair, but probably. But I didn't fall out of my chair. But yes, it probably was a couple weeks ago.
All right, so this this last one is yeah, it's all appropriate. You don't have to play the entire video, but after like after the 5-second mark, you don't have to play. You know you want to cry. There it is. There it is.
Yo, you smacked the hell out of that. Yo, he smacked the taste out of that kid. Man. He might have slapped that kid in the next week.
Literally.
He smacked the mess out of that kid.
Mhm.
Hold on. Don't take it. Hold on. That was definitely a wrestling joint. Like that was a whack-em. Oh man. That joint said "Pow!" All right.
Paya. like our girl last week. Paya.
Pow. All right. Any more videos?
That is it, my friend.
All right. So supposedly you're supposed to be stumping me, right?
That is correct. You are correct, sir.
Now hopefully you give me somebody with some type of accolades. Oh shit.
Did you just curse?
No.
Hey.
Two-time All-Star, 86 World Series, and award number 50. 86. Was that the Mets?
That was the Mets, the Miracle Mets of 86, with more cocaine than what was found at the White House.
Not Dykstra.
No. Who also, by the way, is not a Hall of Famer for my brother who's watching.
Oh, I can't put up the chat. I'm not going to put up the chat. I'm sure your brother said something. But I'm not going to put up the chat just in case anybody puts the answer in the chat.
The answer, I got you. We are a show of integrity.
Give me the teams, please.
New York Mets, Baltimore Orioles, New York Yankees, Philadelphia Phillies, and the Houston Astros.
Martinez.
Excuse me?
Martinez.
No.
What position did he play?
He was a pitcher.
Not Martinez. So the teams are again. Can you give them to me in order?
New York Mets, Baltimore Orioles, Philadelphia Phillies, New York Yankees, Houston Astros.
Damn. New York Mets, Baltimore Orioles, Philadelphia Phillies. So he was a rookie. He was a rookie when he won the World Series. Well, not rookie, but he was
young.
That was his first team when he won the World Series.
Right.
And then he went to Baltimore to have big fun.
In Baltimore.
And then what I have to do is I have to deduct who did the Phillies get from Baltimore back then that was a pitcher.
So he wasn't traded. He was released by the Orioles.
Oh,
So, all right, here's one thing I'll give you as a caveat. You remember in the mid '90s when the Phillies after '93, Phillies it was a they caught everybody career year in a bottle and it wound up being whatever.
Norm Charlton.
No, close. But they got those type of players. Like they signed a whole bunch of players that were good, that were great at one point.
Ben Rivera.
He was never great.
Well, I mean, you didn't say this person was great. I'm just saying,
I got you.
but I guess no. And it's not Tommy Green either, huh?
Not to the green.
86 World Series, 2-time All-Star. Can you tell me the teams he was an All-Star with?
The New York Mets.
He was an All-Star with the Mets, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. And then Houston after Philadelphia?
No, he had a brief stint with the Yankees, and I think he got injured. He was injured a lot towards the end of his career.
How long did he play for the Phillies?
1 year.
Oh my God. Well, okay. What year was that?
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm going to remember the roster of that year.
1996.
96. Okay. That helps. Not a lot, but it helps. 96. Play for the Mets. You might got me on this one. Played for the Mets, then the Baltimore, got released from Baltimore, and played for the Phillies in 96. A pitcher that played for the Phillies in 96. Who the hell was on that team in 96?
Exactly.
Wasn't that like a lockout year or something? A strike?
No, 94 was the strike year.
Who was on the team in 96? You had Heathcliff Slocum.
Slocum if you got him.
Was I right? I guess not.
No, you were. He hit Heathcliff Slocum.
Huh? It's Heathcliff
Yeah.
Slocum?
No. That was who was on that team.
Oh, I was saying, was I right? I was a guess.
Oh, that was. I'm sorry. I apologize. No.
All right. So it wasn't Heathcliff Slocum. Who else was on that team? How do I remember Heathcliff Slocum? Probably because his name Heathcliff.
They had Ricky Otero, the flea.
Batalico wasn't on. What was he in '96? No, but
Yes.
Batalico was an All-Star with the Phillies.
Yeah, he was. He was the only All-Star because '96 was the Phillies' the last All-Star game at the Vet,
Yeah.
and Batalico was the only All-Star.
I do not remember who was pitching on that night. I don't remember. Was Jimmy on the team yet in '96?
Oh, Jimmy didn't come up till 2000.
Damn! Wow. Okay. Was Stocker on the team in '96?
Was he?
I think he was.
Yes, he was.
So, all right. So, yeah, Stocker on that team. Heathcliff Slocum. Who else was on that team? Who played first base for that team?
Greg Jeffries.
Oh, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it. Who played second base?
Mickey Morandini.
Okay. And was that Dave Hollins at third? No, Dave Hollins was way before that.
Yeah, Todd Zeal was on third.
Oh my goodness, I'm not remembering anybody from this. Todd Zeal, Kevin Stocker was that short. So who was in the outfit? That means was Milt Thompson still playing then?
Nope. So in the outfield was Jim Eisenreich, who batted .361 that year. A little unknown center fielder by the name of Ricky Otero. Remember the flea?
I do remember Ricky Otero, yeah.
And Pete Incaviglia.
So who did they bring in to pitch for them that year? You got me on this one. I have no idea.
Do you give up? Do you tap? Are you
I'm
tapping? Yep.
tapping.
You're tapping? All right. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Sid Fernandez.
Ain't no way I'd have got that.
And so the unique thing about Sid Fernandez is he had that unusual kind of like side winding whip throw.
Okay.
Number one, and he was born in Hawaii.
Well, I'll tell you, I would have never got that because I ain't never heard of Sid Fernandez.
You never heard of Sid Fernandez?
Never heard of Sid Fernandez. So I would not have gotten that.
Oh wow.
Let's see.
Well, all right.
Yep, never heard of him. Never heard of him. All right, but that was good. Hey, that's one way to stump me. You pick somebody I ain't never heard of.
Okay then.
Pick somebody I never heard of.
So always remember, whenever I try to fool you, the player has always at least played a season with a Philly team.
Yeah, I've kind of figured that. I mean, I think it would be unfair if you did it like if they didn't play for the Phillies. I think that would be unfair. You can't pick somebody to play for the Angels, the Royals, and the Brewers and expect me to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't expect you to get it, but you probably would.
Whatever.
All right, look, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us for the checks here on the Check Swing podcast with myself. And, of course, the brains and brawn of the situation, Mr. Miguel. Coach Miguel Santa. I'm thinking while I'm talking, I just realized I didn't eat dinner or anything. I'm starting to get hungry, and it's 10 o'clock at night. But anyway, we're going to get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing podcast. We'll talk to y'all next week. Actually, no.
Uh-oh.
I will talk to you about it. I ain't gonna tell the whole world what's going on. I'll tell you about it when we get off air.
So we'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Now I'm trying to get my stuff together here. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Y'all be good. We love y'all for loving us.